everybody, and welcome to Spoiler Alert. I am Mike with Mike W Productions. As you know, I am wearing my green because today is Loki Day.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I've been doing the Loki series. I've also been doing the Bad Batch. If you guys want to see any of those, there will be probably a Loki tag right up here for you to hit. If you want to see the Bad Batch, it is in its own playlist, so just hit the little channel icon, I think it's over here, and send you to my page, and you can get a bunch of different playlists that we have made. So with that being said, let's jump right into Loki. Now, the thing about Loki this episode is he got obliterated, but we know that he wasn't really obliterated. He got transported, basically. So what does that mean? In the last episode, we did see Old Man Loki, Big Loki, Kid Loki, and even Alligator Loki. Okay, Alligator Loki. We did confirm that this is an alligator, not a crocodile, because never smile at a crocodile. Old saying in Florida. You gotta kind of know these things, because one will rip you up because they're hungry, and the other one will rip you up just because. And one can actually go in the ocean for a limited amount of time, but has been known to be in the ocean. So, with that being said, the specifics on that doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a fun fact for you guys. Now, on this episode, we do find out a little bit about what's going on, but not a whole lot. It's more action, which I do appreciate that they're jumping into more of the action stuff, just kind of progressing the characters more, which is always good for these kind of series. This is the Vote for Loki episode, which is not our version of Loki. It is a variant Loki, who is the Vote for Loki variant. There are a bunch of different kind of Lokis in this episode, which I found kind of funny because they all fight with each other, and so you get to see little snippets of each one that are either from the comic books or maybe from the cartoons, or just made up for the show. There's a bunch of them. I can't really go through each detail because there's 30 of them. And they're all fighting with each other at one point, so you don't really know, oh, great. So, we get a good sense of what's going on now. Again, like I said, who's the man behind the curtain, just like in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, the great Oz has spoken. Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
We're trying to figure out who's controlling the time variant agency. It's not the judge. The judge actually doesn't know, and admittedly doesn't know, who the timekeepers or the people behind the scenes really are. Again, I don't think they're the timekeepers because of the reasons why I said in the last video. If you want to have that explained to you, go and watch the last video. I think it might be somebody else. It has to be somebody else. It can't just be the timekeepers, because that would be kind of please don't do that, guys. That would be kind of lame. If it is the timekeepers, then why are they hiding in another dimension, basically? So in this episode, we find out where the Lokis got dropped off at some point. girl Loki, Silva, annihilates herself, and she gets warped back to where Loki's are. She finds her Loki. They have a nice little chat with a blanket. So they're trying to establish the relationship, and as I said in the last video, basically only Loki could love Loki. And it's kind of narcissistic, but at least in this thought it works, because it's like not really Loki, it's Sylvie. So, you know. And so the way, and again, it doesn't matter, like I don't care that they're dating. It's like, okay, well, as long as if it has something to do with the plot line, then whatever. But it's just a thing to me. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't have to be there. They don't have to fall in love. It's just something that the director wanted to put in there. Okay, I guess it gives them more of an attachment for if one of them dies at the end. Again, I don't get any previews or any advanced screenings of the episodes, so I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they're doing that just to make it where if one of them does die at the end, it's more like dramatic for the other Loki. But they do end up going to this planet, and she ends up going there, finding him, and Morbius is there too. So we get more Owen Wilson doing Owen Wilson, which is pretty cool. He seems like a nice enough guy, at least in his acting, that it doesn't matter. So, as the story progresses, we find out that this big cloud monster that devours planets, well, devours paradoxes, basically, is eating all of the variants. It eats variants, basically, or variant things. So, like, there was a building that didn't need to be there. Well, it got sent there, and it eats it. It's very slow, because the Lokis have been able to avoid being eaten. It's just a cloud monster. it's a good catalyst to put in there. You could call it a MacGuffin. It's basically just a thing to keep the plot going. And it's a good MacGuffin. It's a monster. They gotta stop the monster. Actually, they think that the monster's hiding something, because when Sylvie went in there, she touched the smoke, which I don't understand that, but okay, you touched the monster, got into the head of the monster and saw something. So she figures that it's hiding something. She has to do it again, so that's basically the whole plot to this episode. We do have another Wizard of Oz moment. What do I mean by that? What's behind the curtain? Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. They do end up finding a portal to what looks like a castle. I'm not sure which castle it is. It might be any given villain's castle. I don't know this one specifically, so you can make assumptions on what you already know about the show and who has been assumed to be the villains in these episodes. I would have to do a lot more research, but I just literally got done watching the episode and made this video. So, they end it there. There is no end credit scene that I saw, but the next episode is where it kind of ramps up. We are running out of episodes. There's not a whole lot in this series, so I think we're in the end game now. So with that being said, guys, that is the rundown of Loki. My thoughts on it are, it's cool. I like that the judge doesn't know who the timekeepers or the faux timekeepers are. I do like that Sylvie, or Girl Loki, however you want to say it, Woman Loki, is there. I like that she killed herself not knowing what would happen. Like, she just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And she would have been dealt with like that anyways. So I kind of respect that in a sense that she did it herself. Yeah, but all in all, a very decent episode. Like, it was entertaining. It was funny. Old Man Loki is pretty good. Kid Loki. Oh, and if you pay attention, you see Thor in a glass jar, kind of like the glass jar that they wanted to put Hulk into in the first Avengers movie.
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
And he gets buried by kids, school lunch trays. And he's trying to jump out. If you guys notice that, it's a pretty funny scene just because they start panning down. You see this little jar, and you see like these kid lunch trays. And then you see this little jar, and you see Thor bouncing around trying to get out. Kid Loki did say that they're dead, that he's dead, that he killed Thor, but he didn't really kill Thor, so that's kind of funny. That he's just buried underground trying to get out. Will Thor get out? We do not know. I don't think we'll ever find out. We might find out. It might be funny to find out because he's like this big in a jar. So, I mean, that was just a little cherry on top for any of you Thor fans out there wondering what the heck happened to Thor. This kid said he killed him. He didn't actually kill him. He put him in a jar and put him in the ground. So he might get out. We don't know. But it's very funny. I hope they use that at the end of the series, where like little tiny Thor with actually, well, if he gets a hold of the hammer, which was right next to him, he might turn big again. So we don't know. Maybe they'll play that into it. Maybe they'll just leave it as it was just a joke. But it was funny. Now, with that being said, guys, do I like this series so far? Yeah. Does it have its issues? Sure. But all in all, it's kind of a fun ride, especially this episode. Getting to see vote for Thor, vote for Loki, which wasn't actually our Loki, was fun. The alligator rips his arm off, which was funny. You see Thor in a little jar. Like, there's a bunch of little things that add up that make this episode really fun to watch. So yeah, would I watch this episode specifically again? Yeah, just because it's actually a fun episode, and I hope they keep that up. So with that, guys, if you guys want to see anything else on my Loki series, there'll be a little tag thing up here. If you guys want to give the channel a follow, there's a little circle button right here. If you guys want to see anything else, you can hit the little tag thingy. If you do like this episode, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys do give me a thumbs up, I appreciate it a lot. If you guys give me a subscribe, I highly appreciate it. That helps with the algorithm and lets me know what you guys want to see from this channel. So, with that being said, thank you guys again, and we will see you later. Peace.